The North Korean border, a place shrouded in secrecy where the outside world catches only glimpses of its reality. A stark reminder of a divided peninsula, a line that has separated families and ideologies for decades. It is a place where tensions simmer, where the threat of conflict is ever present, where the past casts a long shadow, influencing the present and shaping the future. This is the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, a 2.5-mile-wide buffer zone that cuts across the Korean peninsula, separating North and South Korea. Established in 1953, it marks the ceasefire line of the Korean War, a war that left an indelible mark on the region. But the war never truly ended, did it? It merely paused, leaving a fragile peace that could be shattered at any moment. The DMZ is one of the most heavily militarized borders in the world, a testament to the ongoing hostilities. It is a physical manifestation of the ideological divide between North and South Korea, a line that represents more than just geography. On one side, a reclusive authoritarian state where the government exerts tight control over its people. On the other, a vibrant democracy at the forefront of technology and innovation, a nation that has rapidly modernized and grown. The DMZ serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of division. Families were torn apart. Lives were shattered. The pain of separation is still felt today. The history of the Korean peninsula is one of resilience and sorrow, a story of a people who have endured much but continue to hope for a better future. After World War II, Korea, previously under Japanese rule, was divided along the 38th parallel, a division that would have lasting consequences. The Soviet Union backed the North, while the United States supported the South, setting the stage for a conflict that would engulf the peninsula. This division sowed the seeds of conflict, culminating in the Korean War from 1950 to 1953, a brutal conflict that claimed millions of lives. The war ended with an armistice, not a peace treaty, leaving the two Koreas in a state of perpetual tension. The two Koreas technically remain at war, a reality that shapes the lives of those living on the peninsula. The DMZ is a lasting legacy of that war, a symbol of the unresolved conflict and the hope for eventual peace. It is a physical barrier but also a psychological one, a constant reminder of the division and the potential for conflict. It represents the hopes and fears of the Korean people, the desire for reunification, the dream of a peninsula united once more, the fear of renewed conflict, a fear that has shaped the lives of generations. It is a place of contradictions, where nature has flourished in the absence of human activity, creating an unintended wildlife sanctuary amidst the tension. But beneath the surface, danger lurks. The land is still fraught with peril. Landmines and unexploded ordnance remain a constant threat, a deadly reminder of the past conflicts that continue to haunt the present. The DMZ is not just a line on a map, it is a living, breathing entity that embodies the tension and division between North and South Korea. It is a 155-mile-long, 2.5-mile-wide scar that cuts across the Korean peninsula, separating families and ideologies. Within this zone, there are areas of heightened tension where the air is thick with the weight of history and the potential for conflict. The Joint Security Area, or JSA, is one such place. It is the only spot where North and South Korean forces stand face to face. Here, soldiers from North and South Korea stand face to face, a constant reminder of the fragile peace. Every gesture, every movement is scrutinized as the world watches. The DMZ is a place of stark contrasts. It is a paradox, a place where the harshness of military presence meets the serenity of untouched nature. On the one hand, it is a heavily fortified military zone, bristling with defenses and surveillance. Fences topped with barbed wire stretch as far as the eye can see, a physical manifestation of the divide. Guard posts manned by watchful soldiers, ever vigilant. Minefields and tank traps lie in wait, a constant state of readiness. Military drills and maneuvers are a common sight as both sides prepare for any eventuality. On the other hand, the DMZ is an accidental haven for wildlife. It is a sanctuary where nature has been allowed to flourish. Decades of limited human activity have allowed nature to reclaim this space, creating a unique ecosystem. Rare species of plants and animals thrive here, undisturbed by human encroachment. It is a testament to nature's resilience. The DMZ has become an unlikely symbol of nature's resilience, a place where life finds a way despite the odds. But it is also a place of tragedy. The human cost of this divide is immeasurable. Countless lives have been lost trying to cross this heavily guarded border, each one a story of desperation and hope. Families separated by the DMZ yearn for a day when they can be reunited. Their longing is palpable, their stories heart-wrenching. There are stories of daring escapes and of families torn apart. Each tale is a testament to the human spirit and the desire for freedom. Propaganda broadcasts from the north echo across the divide, while the south responds with messages of hope and freedom. It is a battle of ideologies fought with words. The DMZ is a microcosm of the larger conflict, a place where hope and despair coexist. It is a reminder of the past, a reality of the present, and a question for the future. Life near the DMZ is a study in contrasts, a delicate balance between tension and normalcy, where the extraordinary meets the mundane. On the North Korean side, villages like Kijongdong stand as showcases of supposed prosperity, though many believe them to be largely uninhabited Potemkin villages. These villages are meticulously maintained, with brightly painted buildings and well-kept streets, but they lack the vibrancy of true community life. On the South Korean side, towns like Paju have flourished, their economies boosted by tourism and the presence of military bases. The streets are bustling with activity, filled with shops, restaurants, and tourists eager to catch a glimpse of the DMZ. For South Koreans living near the DMZ, life is a mix of the ordinary and the extraordinary. They go about their daily routines, shopping at local markets, attending school, and enjoying family time, all while the shadow of the border looms large. They go about their daily lives, but the presence of the border is always felt. Children play in parks with watchtowers in the background, and families stroll near the heavily fortified fences, a constant reminder of the division. Military exercises are a common sight and sound. The rumble of tanks and the roar of fighter jets are part of the daily soundtrack, a stark reminder of the ever-present military readiness. The threat of conflict, though remote, is ever present. Both sides maintain a high level of vigilance, with soldiers on constant patrol and fortifications standing as silent sentinels. Yet there's also a sense of resilience. Life goes on, children attend school, businesses thrive, and communities come together. Despite the tension, there is a strong sense of community and a determination to live life to the fullest. The DMZ is a part of their lives, a reminder of their history and the ever-present possibility of reunification. Tours and memorials serve as both educational tools and symbols of hope for a future where the peninsula is united. However, the heavy military presence and constant monitoring cast a long shadow. Surveillance cameras and military outposts are ubiquitous, creating an atmosphere of constant watchfulness. The psychological impact on civilians is undeniable. Living under the constant threat of conflict takes a toll, manifesting in subtle ways from heightened anxiety to a pervasive sense of unease. The fear of accidental escalation is real. Historical footage and tense border scenes serve as stark reminders of past conflicts and the fragile nature of the current peace. Every day they are reminded of the fragility of peace. Peaceful protests and daily life activities juxtaposed with military presence highlight the delicate balance they maintain, yet they remain hopeful, clinging to the dream of a unified Korea. Reunification rallies and symbolic images of a unified Korea keep the hope alive, a testament to their enduring spirit and unwavering optimism. The DMZ is not just a buffer zone, it is a tripwire, ready to snap. Both North and South Korea maintain a heavy military presence along the tense border. North Korea, with its massive army, views the DMZ as its first line of defense against a potential invasion. South Korea, backed by the United States, sees it as a deterrent against aggression from the North. The presence of American troops in South Korea adds another layer of complexity to the situation. They serve as a visible symbol of the U.S. commitment to South Korea's security. But their presence is also a source of tension with North Korea, which views them as a hostile force. The DMZ has been the scene of numerous skirmishes and incidents over the years. Each incident raises fears of a wider conflict, a conflict that neither side can truly afford. The stakes are incredibly high and ever-present. The Korean peninsula is a powder keg in a volatile region. Any miscalculation could have catastrophic consequences. The international community watches the DMZ with bated breath, hoping for diplomacy to prevail. The hope for peace rests on a knife's edge, fragile and uncertain.